On today's episode, we're going to talk about the 5 love languages of financial planning. These come from the book by Gary Chapman, The 5 Love Languages, and we're going to correlate those to financial planning. If you're not familiar with them, the 5 languages are quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation, gifts, physical touch. So let me go grab Walt and we'll dive right in.
Hey, it's another episode of Power Your Retirement. I'm Walter Storholt alongside the man of the hour, as always, Steve Smith, certified financial planner, and our guide here on the episode to take us through this fun conversation about the 5 love languages. This one's a little outside the box, Steve, so I'm looking forward to this and how they relate to financial planning. You're not intimidated by talking about the 5 love languages here on the program, are you?
No, this is basic training for marriage, and business. So definitely an expert on this one.
All right, so non-financial. What are you? Are you acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, gifts, or physical touch? What's your love language?
So I am a hardcore quality time. Basically, one of the foundations of why I became an advisor. I love to pour into people, spend time with people, and really, go deep with them. So that is definitely quality time is my primary.
Nice. I would say I'm split between quality time and the physical touch. Like if Connie just touches my hair, I'm done. Like, what do you want? What do you want me to do? You want me to do the dishes? You want me to do anything? Like. That one speaks to me. So I knew you didn't want to say that one, so I took the heat for you.
Gotcha. So you're a little bit divide and conquer. You can.
I might have to be.
You're not getting it
Connie's
from one. You can get from the other.
She's a gift giver. She loves giving gifts in any relationship that she's in. I have to rein her in and be like, I know it's your love language, but come on.
Right. Well, that's our natural inclinations there.
It is. I've had to learn that. You just got to let that one go. So
my wife is words of affirmation.
Okay. Nice. It's good to know what you are and what the spouse is, right?
Right. And my tendency is to just want to give lots of time to her, which doesn't get a lot of traction.
I love it. All right. Well, let's steer it back to the financial side of things then. We'll walk through each one and then just see what the financial relationship looks like here and what that connection is. So let's first talk about acts of service. Why is this a financial love language as well?
So a lot of our life is spent on service, maybe through a job, a career, so that we can make money and provide things that we all need, like a home and clothing and all those other wants and needs that we have in our life. Most of the time, we're not just providing for ourselves, but we're providing for a spouse and children, those types of things. In retirement, we want to make sure that we have a retirement income set up so that we can continue those acts of service, that love language. We want to make sure we can continue that for our loved ones. And as we all have learned the hard way, once we left home, in order to be able to help others, we need either a time or money or both. And in retirement, obviously, we're going to need both as well. So that's where that acts of service goes, is we want to make sure that we have that retirement income planned so we can continue our lives. They don't kind of stop just because we retired.
Yeah, that's a great point. I see this in my grandparents a lot. They love nothing more than just spoiling anyone who will come to visit them. And they planned financially very well so that they could have that ability when people come to visit to take them out. They live in kind of a fun destination where you can go and explore and do neat things. And so they just love taking people out to eat and treating you the best way they possibly can. They just shower you with kind of that love and acts of service for folks to show them the best time that they possibly can. So it's neat to see that and be on the receiving end of that, and then also inspired to hopefully one day be able to do the same for folks.
Yes. And if you got a little extra money in the budget, that's a little easier to do for sure.
Yeah. All right, next one is your favorite. We get to quality time. So what's the financial element or equivalent of the quality time in financial planning and these love language merging together?
Sure, for somebody that has quality time as their love language, they'll tell you that time doesn't require spending a lot of money. Like I mentioned with my wife earlier, on
Yep.
fancy activities or that kind of thing. They just want to spend the raw time together. So when it comes to investing in the stock market, this is really like a learning principle that we want to save for long periods of time. Markets up and down and around, but we save and accumulate for a long period of time.
Mhm.
And then also we want to get on that retirement income. That key to success is staying in the market for a long time so that we can build it up and then ride it down. Just like in my book, I talk about, the kid going up the hill on his bike, hit that pinnacle point and go down, but we can't get too wrapped up about a bad year along the way.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I think that's fantastic. And I really like the comparison there between quality time as a love language and where it appears in the financial realm,
Yeah.
staying in the market and staying the course. That's great. By the way, Steve mentioned his book. If you haven't read it yet, you can get a copy of the book when you order a free retirement planning toolkit. We've got it linked in the description of today's show, or you can just go to powerupyour401k.com. That's where you can order the toolkit for free. Not only the book, but lots of other great resources as well. If you like the digital version of the book, you can also find it both here on YouTube and in your favorite audio podcasting app as well. So definitely a good read and worth checking out. All right, let's get to a third love language, Steve. The words of affirmation one. We talked a little bit about what that looks like in the actual love language, but what about the financial one?
So, words of affirmation is for those that have that as their love language, are ones that are actually more apprehensive in my experience to meet with a financial advisor or even a tax person, that kind of thing, because they're wanting that good report, that word of affirmation, and they can have a little bit of fear when it comes to engaging with that person. I even had someone come in my office and they were like, I've been waiting to see you for 2 years. I wanted to set an appointment. Like, why didn't you? He goes, you're scary. You might tell me that I'm not on track. I'm like,
Oh, man.
I'm not scary. Do I need to shave or what's going on? But the point is that she was words of affirmation and she didn't know where she was at along the way. And what she found, if I can just give a little example, is that, yeah, I gave her a few ideas on how to tune it up a little bit, her retirement plan, but I also gave her lots of words of affirmation for all of the progress she's made up to this point and encouragement on how it can get better by making these changes. So she walked away
Sometimes,
like super big smiles after we went through our whole process, not just one meeting, of
yeah.
course, but yeah, words of affirmation for anybody that has that. It's when you engage with the financial
Mhm.
advisor, work with them, you're going to get plenty of that along the way.
Sometimes we're just looking for permission, and an advisor can provide that for you, whether that's permission to retire, permission to spend more in
Yeah.
retirement. That pops up quite a bit from our conversations, Steve. So that's neat to hear. I'm chuckling at you being described as intimidating. I had a similar experience, and I hope the audience can get that you and we seem like pretty similar jovial personalities and very
Yeah.
easygoing folks, and not normally described as intimidating. But just a
Right.
few weeks ago, I had somebody tell me I was being very domineering, and I was like, really? Okay. So I crossed my arms and I was like, well, I'm going to lean into this because I may never hear that again. That's the first time I've been described as domineering. So this is a great day. I'm going to take it.
Yeah. It's all in, the eye of the beholder, right? The perspective of what they view us as.
Yeah.
So
I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm not that domineering, but I'm going to embrace it today. So
no,
it was good
not at
stuff.
all.
All right, let's go to our next one. This is the gift giving one. I feel like the financial connection could be taken in a lot of different directions here, but how does this one speak to you?
So gifts, and if I can take the liberty to say like financial gifts, can make a significant impact. And I see lots of, sometimes as parents, sometimes as grandparents, want to save for, say, kids' college in a 529 plan. Or maybe they want to get a trust and they've got some specific thing that they either A, want to give to, or B, want to structure beyond the grave so they can leave that legacy behind. So I see a lot of that charity, which and also children, and just it is a form of charity, but a lot of people want to pour back into the community that kind of built them in their life. That's where the gifts come. Maybe it's an alma mater. I've seen that from time to time. So there's a lot of great things. Financial gifts can really make an impact, not only on our families and those that come behind us, but also for the communities that at least in my experience, there's so many people and organizations that help get me to the level that I'm at. And I'm sure there'll be many more that help me throughout the rest of my career. And I think that's something that my clients feel as well. And that want to give a gift back changes people. Being generous, I believe, makes you a better person.
Yeah. It's also, I think, there's opportunities as we get older to do the same gift giving, but to do it in even more efficient ways, tax advantaged ways. And that's not necessarily even from the selfish standpoint of, okay, so just do it to save money on taxes, but it lets you give more to the sources and places that you want to. The more efficient we can be in that, the better. And that comes along with just good planning overall. So that's good.
It is. For sure.
How about our last one here, Steve? Okay, we get to the physical touch one. We saved the uncomfortable one for last. Where do we see this in the financial world?
So physical touch, as technology continues to improve, it'll become increasingly tempting for people to engage with that robo thing, right? Or that AI that's we hear about.
Yeah.
And I love
retire
AI.
by Google has become retire by AI now, right?
Right. Yes. Google moved on over, although Gemini is still hanging out there. So they still got a horse in the race.
It's pretty blended at this point. Yeah.
But there'll be this temptation for a lot of AI out there. And just like as we've experienced other automations over the last 50 years, that need for physical touch doesn't go away. When we read a book, I mean, that's why for the last 100 years, we've been writing financial books. So why do we need financial advisors? Just go grab a few books, read them, and you're good. So that's really not how it is. It's that relationship. Also leveraging time, some of those other things, leveraging time so that you can have that physical touch and relationship is so key. And the human element to what I do, that's what I love, hence being quality time. But that physical and relational touch with clients, giving them perspective, giving them words of affirmation. So this one kind of is a callback to a lot of the other ones.
Yeah.
And it's just, I love this one the most, even though I'm a QT guy. Relationship is what is really what makes life worth living, even if you don't need a hug every day. But it sounds like you might, Walt.
I need a hug every day. Yeah, I'm not afraid to admit it. Awesome. Well, there you go. Those are the love languages and the financial love languages. I think it teaches us a lot about just how to properly plan, how to maybe properly frame your retirement and maybe your relationship with an advisor as part of this conversation too. So there's a lot of helpful info, I think, embedded in there. And thank you for that, Steve. If you are looking for more resources, more guidance, more help when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your 401k, your financial plan, how to best prepare for your financial future, definitely go to powerupyour401k.com. We've got the information, ways that you can get in touch and that web address on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening in the audio podcasting apps, or if you just look in the description of the YouTube video, you'll find a link to that website as well as other ways to contact Steve. So don't hesitate to do that. In the meantime, don't forget to hit like and subscribe on the video if you're watching on YouTube. It helps the channel grow and reach more people. And please share this video with someone who you think might find the information helpful as well. Steve, thanks for all the help, and we'll see you again next week.
All right, you're welcome. Thanks, everyone, for listening.
This podcast is provided by Powerhouse Financial Advisors, an independent firm with advisory services offered through Parson X Advisory Services, Inc., PAS, a federally registered investment advisor. The information provided is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be considered as personalized investment advice. PAS does not guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or suitability of this information for your specific circumstances. Investment decisions should be based on an individual's goals, time horizon, and risk tolerance. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and all investments carry a degree of risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any case studies, testimonials, or endorsements shared in this podcast are illustrative of individual experiences and may not be representative of the experience of all clients. They do not guarantee future performance or success. You should not infer any level of assurance regarding future financial outcomes. Listeners should consult with a qualified financial, tax, or legal professional before making any investment decisions. Parson X Advisory Services, Inc. does not provide tax or legal advice. Be sure to consult with your tax and legal professionals regarding your specific circumstances. For a copy of our Form ADV Part 2A, which provides additional information about PAS, including our advisory fees and services, please visit powerhousefinancialadvisors.com.